most mature audiences only. So if you can't stand the heat, stay away from the fire.
You know what they say, where there's smoke, there's fire.
Why? Because it's time. It's time to bring them.
What's up, Raider Nation? What's up? I am the Commish, coming to you live, as always, from the friendly confines of Hardcore Challenge Live Studios. And just where is that, might you ask? Well, let me help you out there. It's just down the street, past the house with the boarded up windows. Make sure you stop at the corner. Ask my man Joe. He's a Raider fan, he's a gentleman, he's a scholar, as well as a man of commerce. Slipping what you should. He's gonna point you in the right direction. He's gonna tell you to take a left and then a right. As you find yourself strolling down the street minding your own goddamn business, you gotta pass a deep dark alley to your immediate right. Now as you pass that deep dark alley, a cool breeze hits you that will chill you right to your skeletal core. And you'll find yourself asking, was that the autumn wind? You goddamn right. Is it the first day of training camp? You goddamn right. Should you venture down that deep dark alley? Well, of course you should. Because what you're gonna find at the end is a special little place that we like to call deep behind the enemy line. This is Raider Reaction. In the 2019 season, Raider Nation is officially here. It's here. Quarterbacks and rookies have reported. It almost brings a tear to my eye. We've waited so long. It's like an old friend coming back. Finally. Silver and black. It's returning to green fields once again. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And what was the biggest news of today? What was the biggest news of today? Of course, it's the first day of training camp, but the biggest news of today was there was no news. There should be no news when it's the first day of training camp reporting, because there's no contract issues, there are currently no holdouts, there's nobody pissed off. Everybody's happy. And so far, right now, day one, July 23rd, all is well in the Raider Nation. All is well. There's some other bullshit that popped up today, and we'll talk about that. But the most important thing is rookies, quarterbacks reported, and there was no news. No bullshit. That bullshit, Ralph, we'll get to. That has been happening for about a week. Nothing positive can come out of this. The only positive thing is it's going to give you something on Tuesday nights to watch at 10 o'clock. Well, fuck, if you needed something to watch at 10 o'clock, you could have came here at 10 or 7 Pacific, 10 o'clock Eastern. Because that's when Hard Knocks is going to be. So as soon as Hard Knocks starts, because we got our pirate pages up, and we're going to be streaming that for you. Those of you who don't have HBO or are not going to be able to watch it, the fuck you ain't. Bullshit, you ain't going to be able to watch it. We're going to make sure every member of Raider Nation's got a place to watch Hard Knocks, to watch preseason, and to watch the regular season, no matter what the man says. What? 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 What did he... Yes, that's what I said. I'm not lying. So all you got to do is do what you're already doing. Unless you haven't yet, and if you haven't, I don't know what you're thinking, but you should like and follow the Raider Reaction page. Follow us on Instagram and follow us on Twitter. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. And you're not going to miss anything that's going on for the season. Because we've got the pirate pages already sprinkled about social media. They're already planted. And we're planning more every week. So all you got to do is come here about 30 minutes before any said Raider event. And we will have the link to that day's pirate page posted. You won't be able to come back and use the same pirate page, so you always have to come to Raider Reaction to get the link. Every week, because we unpublish it. Gotta keep him off the trail, man. Gotta keep him off the trail. So, lots of hoops we gotta jump through to bring it to you, but soon enough, it will be upon us. So, yes, Hard Knocks has been there for the last week. Man, nothing positive is going to come out of that. Yeah, you get a night of entertainment, I guess, if you want to call that entertainment. If you want to call watching the dreams of a handful of young men crushed right in front of you for your viewing pleasure while you're fucking eating your evening dinner, then I guess I'm not terribly excited about it. I'm really not. I don't think Hard Knocks is a great thing. I don't think you should have a behind the scenes, in-depth anything in fucking training camp. There should be some level of secrecy. There should be some level of gamemanship. I don't think that's a place for cameras. I'm sorry, I don't. I also don't think it's a place for cameras when you're bringing a young man in who's just out of fucking college, who this is his big step out into the fucking real world, and we get a live watch his dreams be crushed while his fucking cut and sent home. And then they fucking video him calling his fucking family and having to call his fucking wife or whatever and breaking down. I don't need to see that. To me, that's not fucking entertainment. That's fucking tabloid TV. That's teen mom shit. That's fucking, housewives, fucking rich fucking housewife problem fucking type. That's not the type of shit I want to see. I don't want to see that. That's garbage type TV to me. And, it's great. Yay, the Raiders got picked. It just throws us in the spotlight for one extra thing. But that's not the type of spotlight you want. You want the type of spotlight when you're having your city spotlighted for the NFL draft. If you're going to have the Pro Bowl in your city. You're going to have the Super Bowl in your city. You want those kind of events. You don't want this. You don't want this. You don't want this. This isn't what I want at all. come on. Canyon Stone. Is that your real name? Canyon Stone. Dude, that sounds like some sort of fucking, like some name you picked if you were like a male exotic dancer or something. Coming up next on the stage, we got Canyon Stone. The scripted sport. Oh, man, I can't wait for your conspiracy theory on how it's fucking scripted. Please. I can't wait to read that. That should be real interesting reading. I don't like Hard Knocks. At all. I don't. I've watched bits and pieces of it. I don't like it. I don't. That's not the type of shit I like to see. I don't. I guess I understand the draw of it because it's the behind the scenes. I understand it. I get it. But at some point, this is a game, man. And these guys are trying to get even the smallest edge up on somebody else. And you're tipping somebody the hell off, man. There's just certain things that don't need to be seen. There's just certain things that don't need to be seen. There was there's been things in the past where there's been a camera where it shouldn't have been at Super Bowl time, and a team sees a team practicing a play through walkthroughs, and blah, 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 blah. Well, Keith, let me ask you this, Keith. You're optimistic on it, yes. Optimistic on what? What positive can possibly come out of Hard Knocks? I'm interested to see. I'm curious, because I honestly can't put a finger on one positive thing that can come out of Hard Knocks. What positively can come out of Hard Knocks other than giving you fluff entertainment for the offseason? What positivity can come out of it? You're allowing them behind the fucking scenes. You're pulling back the curtain on fucking Oz, and you're letting them go in there and see shit that they shouldn't see. Sure, it's fun for the average fan to be able to watch that because they don't get to see that. But how is any of that positive besides for pure entertainment value? I cannot put a finger on one item. And if somebody can tell me how this is positive for any development of a young rookie to have a camera shoved up their ass from the second they first report for their first training camp, how that's a benefit to anybody, how that's going to be a benefit for the NFL careers to have a camera in there when you're cut from your first job, I don't see how there's a benefit to anybody from being there. Who's it benefit? It benefits the NFL owners, it benefits Roger Goodell, and it benefits the NFL. That's it. They fill space, extra time. They got you watching NFL productions on a fucking Tuesday. It's just TV. I guess it's just TV. How is that going to help a team with a losing record? Okay, let's take a team with a losing record and let's pull the fucking curtain back. Let's let everybody see why you suck. How does that help a team with a losing record? That's not a positive. You guys really suck. Now let's pull back the curtain so everybody can see the total dysfunctionality behind the scenes. That doesn't help. It didn't help Cleveland. It hasn't helped anybody. It didn't help the fucking Buccaneers. They went in a fucking nosedive after they had fucking Hard Knocks. It doesn't help. It's just an extra distraction. Rookies don't need it, man. And it's just... I don't like it. I don't like it. Well, have one for me, Jack. Have one for me. So... I'm going to watch it. I have to watch it. I'm going to watch it, and I'm going to have I'm going to have a live reaction show directly after it. Why? Because Raider Nation's going to be watching it. So that makes it news. So I have to watch it. I have to watch this season of Hard Knocks now because the Raiders are on it. I have to. Because starting August 6th, we're going to shift our Tuesday night show back 1 hour so that instantly the second Hard Knocks goes off, we're going to be live so we can come right on here. We can break it all down. Because it's going to be instant news, man. Instant Raider news. So we're going to be all over it. And you can watch it on the Pirate page and then jump back over here and we'll have the post Hard Knocks reaction show. What the fuck kind of goddamn abortion that's going to fucking be, I have no idea. But we'll see. My God, I'm going to feel like that fucking, oh man. That little fucking douchebaggery guy that fucking my wife watches that holds the fucking post shows for them fucking rich bitches while they all sit around and fucking fight with each other. I'm going to feel like that guy. Like, alright guys. Let's just discuss this reality show we just watched. Pass me some purple drink. But I'll be here regardless. So, what I wanted to do tonight. Well, hold on. I want to get to that in a second. But two things I want to do tonight. We got a hot story that obviously popped up today. It was all fucking over. We got to talk about that shit first. But I want to make sure you guys hang around because right after that, I want to open forum this show and I want to start taking questions, concerns, what have you, because it is the first day of training camp and everybody's got something on their mind. So, but we cannot get past this item. The fucking Derek Carr stories that were all over the internet today, that were all over social media about him being too fucking sensitive and that he needs to be coddled by his coach, and the fact that Gruden hasn't come out and backed him is eating him, all of that. It's just like I'm waiting for the fucking shit talk of this offseason to peak. It keeps getting more and more. Like a week ago, we're not going to compete for 3 years from ESPN, and then like 2 days later, some other bullshit, and it just continues and continues. And now the stories come out today that Derek Carr's basically, they're saying he's an oversensitive candy ass, and that he needs coddled. And really, this is what you're spinning on the first day of training camp. This is what you're going to come out with? It just must be really nice to just be able to just write garbage and just stick it out there and say, we're going to go with this. Oh, yeah, that'll make a bunch of it. That's not even really journalism, is it? Is it really even journalism? I don't. That's like almost some National Enquirer shit. That's like the Sports Enquirer, the Sports Star. Pick it up in your supermarket aisle. I don't know. Derek Carr sold me at the end of last season. At the beginning, in the first quarter of last season, I questioned Derek Carr as much as anybody else. The Miami game, I could have put the Broncos game before that. There were several games there where he made bad decisions in critical times down the stretch of games. It was what it was. Was he trying too hard? Was he trying to compensate? Possibly. There may be any number of fucking reasons. But I was fucking ripping his ass just as much as everybody else. But then something happened as the course of last season went on. Derek Carr stood in there, under fire, behind an offensive line that quite frankly was Swiss cheese, with a rookie left tackle that was getting burnt around the edge. He had nobody to throw the ball to. You traded away his supposed number one wide receiver. Crabtree was gone long before that. You got rid of everybody. The one guy that you brought in, LaFell, that you thought could maybe be something, he was in there for half a minute and he's gone. Everybody was gone. He had one tight end to throw the ball to. A tight end in Jalen Richard. And Jared Cook and Jalen Richard were the only two shining stars of the season last year besides DC. So those three Basically, your key offensive, and even Doug Martin's trash ass managed to stumble into 800 and some yards. So, which I believe was basically the rest of, Derek Carr and everybody else just dragging him along. I will not give Doug Martin any credit whatsoever. Just go away. You got your jersey. You and Maurice Jones-Drew, you got your jersey. Now just go about your way, man. Just go. You got your jersey, got your name on it. There's no sense in seeing you on the field. Just move along. But he stood under fire, and he continued to have a very good statistical year on a bad team, with a bad offensive line, with no weapons. He earned my respect by the end of last season. And I 100% back this guy going into 2019. He is the leader of a nation. He is our quarterback. There's nobody else on the roster who's challenging him. Gruden hasn't come out and fucking hugged him in public and, oh, you're my guy. But has he brought in Kyler Murray, all the other shit you heard all offseason? Was any of that true? Is there anybody in who's going to challenge DC4 for his starting job? No. So what does that mean? They've brought in him Antonio Brown, Terrell Williams, J.J. Nelson, Ryan Grant. They're doing everything they can to put a line in front of him. How can you say and even get the impression that this regime doesn't believe in him? They believe in him as much as you should believe in a quarterback in the NFL. Season to season. You should have a little loyalty to them for a long run. But really, you should be evaluating that position season to season. It's the most important position on the fucking field. There are only 32 of these jobs available on the planet. He's the on-field CEO of an NFL franchise. It only goes as far as a quarterback's going to take it. You can have a great defense, and that may get you there, but still, you're only going to go as far as your quarterback's going to take you at some point. He's their guy. He's the Raiders' guy for 2019. And this is his year. The reality is other quarterbacks have done more in less time than Derek Carr. Statistically, he's been great. There's only one stat that matters when you're talking about an NFL quarterback. And what stat is that? That's the W. Wins. That's all that matters. Wins. And he has not gotten a single playoff win. That's the knock on Derek Carr. 2019 is his year. He needs to turn the corner. He needs to turn the corner this year. I believe he will. I believe he's given the weapons. I believe he has the staff around him. I believe he has the proper offensive coordinator. I believe he has the proper voices in his ears now. I believe this is the year to turn it around. But ladies and gentlemen of the Raider Nation, at the end of 2019, if we're still putting a big question mark behind the name of Derek Carr, you have to start the conversation. Is he the guy? Because at that, then you really have to start having a conversation. Now you're 5 years in. You really need to see. I'm not saying we need to see Super Bowl or bust. I'm not saying it's AFC Championship or bust. I'm saying we need to see a turn. A turn for the better. A turn in the right direction. Because, and I don't expect to see it even week one. But by the second half of this season, coming out of the bye week, You should start to see some gelling of a team, and either this team is making an upward turn, or you just dumped a whole bunch of fucking ingredients in a pot, and it tastes like shit. It's a possibility. I have us at 9-7 and squeezing in at the 6th wild card. 6th spot, last wild card. 6th seed. It's optimistic, obviously. Of course, nobody ever brings up that, Russ. Nobody wants to bring up the reasons as to why he's, there's reasons. The guy's never had a consistent coaching staff. He's his go-to guys are fucking dropping the balls all over. But now everything's been put in place. You've had the coaching staff, and this is basically second year now. It's all been put in place. You've brought in all of the pieces now to fix everything you're supposed to be fixing on offense. So they've really addressed all of the things that he needs. Needed a number 1 wide receiver. My God, they went and got him one of the best in the game. The guy's got amazing fucking hands. He's not going to drop your passes. He runs better routes than fucking Amari Cooper, and he's got better fucking hands. Took care of that for you. Didn't really have a speed deep threat with great hands. Went and got you Tyrell Williams. Can stretch the fucking field. There's your vertical game, baby. I know we need a slot. Well, hey, let's get like 3 or 4 of them, and we'll see who's the best. We're going to draft a rookie, Mr. Renfro. We're going to bring in Ryan Grant. We'll bring in J.J. Nelson. We're gonna go pick up some undrafted rookies. Let's try that. We really need a good blocking tight end, so we've brought in several of those. Hell, and I'm not sure about these young guys, so let's bring in Luke Wilson too, because this guy's got championship pedigree. That is, man, they have filled DC4's toolbox with everything he needs. I think the one thing that needs added in there, even the running backs. I mean, we went out first round, got him the running back. Doug Martin's got to go. You go out and get a number 3. You go out and get a number 3 veteran who will come in, mentor type role, fill in some third down action, be a change of pace, be one last stop for his career. Somebody better than fucking Maurice Jones-Drew, somebody better than Doug Martin. I'd like to say somebody like Shady McCoy, because there's talks to him. Buffalo may release him, but I still think he demands way too much money, and he's not ready to be a number 3. And I don't think you want to bring in a guy like that, but you could bring in a guy like that, and maybe he's a possible mix-in number 2 with Rashard. That's right, Billy. I agree 100%. The chemistry is going to take time. That's why I really think by coming out of the bye, there's a possibility that you really start to see some action. I got us 3-2 going into the bye week. I got us up and down all the way through. I got a win, loss, win, loss, win. Going into the bye week. So what I have is currently, we'll readdress this before, once preseason's and seen everything, I'll see if we need to tweak this. But since it is the first day of training camp, I want to open the forum. I want to have an open forum with you guys. So what is on your mind? What questions do you have coming into training camp? What's your biggest concern? Well, more whiskey and Coke is a big concern. And I hope you get on that very soon. Byron doesn't think the Bills cut him. Do you think he's going to get signed? There's been talk that they may not sign him, and he could be one of those guys you see out there at the end. He's a cap casualty. Kevin is across the board. The defense has been upgraded. There's not a position that wasn't addressed and upgraded in my opinion. Chris Warren III, Raul. Chris Warren III. What about Chris Warren III? Chris Warren III is a very unproven running back to me. I wasn't thrilled with his running style, although statistically he did very, very well in preseason last year. I still think he's a project. I think he's raw, and I think he's your number 4. I do think he makes the roster. I think he's your number 4. I think they still don't. I think Martin goes. You got to fill the number 3. Your number 2 is Richard, and your number 1 is Jacobs. They're going to convert Max to tight end. Really? I have not heard that. That's interesting. That would definitely be interesting. Leslie's got you Jack and Coke for you. But what are your burning questions? I've got a lot of concerns. Somebody's concern mentioned Tom Cable. I've seen a lot of talk about the Cable guy lately. Well, that's everybody's biggest question, Billy, is who actually makes the team and who ends up being our starters. There's so many positions because we've really brought in such a competitive lineup of guys at so many positions, man. At wide receiver, who's going to be the guy at tight end? Who's going to be all the starters at linebacker? It's safety. With you brought in new guys at safety. Carl Joseph's been such a talk. It's interesting, man. And then you've got all these new guys, all these rookies. Like Byron said, the concerns are the rookies. Think about it. You've got a quarterback with a whole new wide receiving core. A whole new running back behind him. You're sticking new line. He's got a whole new team. This is such a huge overhaul it really, really is, man, on both sides of the ball. That it's going to take a minute for these guys to gel. It's going to take a minute, or it could be one of them shocking things where you're just like, holy shit, I didn't expect that to happen so quick. Ooh, that's a good question, Canyon. I don't know if has Michael Crabtree been signed by anybody yet, or is he still out there? Because last I knew, he was still out on the open market. Arden Key needs to beef up a little, man. The last picture I seen of Arden Key still looked a little slight, and I really was hoping I'd see him put on a little muscle more. But he's got a couple months. Billy. He's got a couple months, so we'll see. I don't know how much you're going to put on a couple months. I'd like to see him hitting a little harder, but maybe it's that lean muscle. ESPN's just a bunch of, I don't know what they are anymore, man. As like most of you guys, I grew up on ESPN. I'd sit and watch fucking Sports Center in the morning when there was nothing else on, knowing that they're going to play the same goddamn episode like 3 fucking times after, and I'd fucking watch it again because there's nothing else on. I'd just watch ESPN just because. Fuck. I grabbed the thing, it's the first thing I turned it to. I lived and breathed ESPN back in the day. That's how you used to get your sports. Half the time you couldn't see your highlights unless you watched fucking Sports Center. So, to see it become the fucking cesspool that it is now, it's unfortunate, man. It's really unfortunate. There you go. Get that boy eating steak, freaking washing down with protein shakes, man. Because talented kid, but I think for his position, I'd like to see a little more girth on him. I just would. So, but Cleveland, man, we went out and addressed it. Our first pick. Mo Hurst, year 2. What are we going to get out of him? It's lots of exciting things. Well, Stephen A. Smith is a joker. Stephen A. Smith is borderline educated on football. Borderline. That dude has messed up and talked out his ass so many times trying to sound like he knows what the fuck he's talking about when it comes to football, and he doesn't. That dude knows his shit when it's coming to the NBA and some other sports, but football, he don't know shit. He tries to because obviously it's the new national pastime and he needs to know his shit, but he doesn't, and he talks out his ass. PJ Hall, there's another one. Very interesting guy too. There's so many of these guys that you're looking for these guys in their second year to make that turn. and become that impact player. You've seen some flashes out of some of these guys last year, and you just think with the right guys around them, proper linebacking core behind them, and everybody else, how that defense is going to gel. It's going to be interesting. So many new moving parts on both sides of the ball. I don't remember a team. Do you guys remember a team in recent memory that's had this much overhaul from season to season? I mean, this has been crazy. He does trash talk on the Cowboys, Hunter. He hates the Cowboys fans. I do gotta give him that. Stephen A. and we share that, our hatred for Cowboys fans. So, I guess we have that. Is that like breakfast at Tiffany's? At least we have that? No, I don't think so. It's not that close. Oh, I hope so. Billy, I hope so, man. I hope you're right. I really want to see some of these kids, man. I mean, it's been a long time. We've really stocked the cupboard with some young talent, and don't say that to Mary. I'm worried about it too, man. This really got me concerned because when where there's smoke, there's fire, man. When you start to see so many stories about that somebody's heard something somewhere, and seeing Marcel Reese leave was just goddamn terrible. He didn't even want to leave. That's why he's back on the coaching staff now. I mean, and he's involved with the team, and he didn't want to leave. That's the one thing we got, Jamie. You knew where I was going. I was hoping somebody didn't caught that. Just to go.
He shoots, he scores!
You heard the Cowboys are going to bring in the kid from Missouri that the Rams got tired of. Possibility. This you're going to see a lot of bedmates changing here over the next several weeks, month. Especially when you get down to the 53-man cuts. Good Lord. And I love it now that they don't have the weekly cuts. The stories is because of his agent. But the thing is, Michael, you're correct. Those are the rumors I'd heard too. But the thing is, some of the rookies that have come in have that same agent. So if you've got a problem, isn't that going to create? You can't just do that because of the agent, because that means there's other people involved. I really loved the way that kid played last year, and I really thought he was a big upturn. I really, really thought. Really thought. Russ. It is going to take a lot of teamwork, and it is going to take the team gelling. I think we're 3-2 going into the bye. I really feel positive about this team having something to really build off of going into the bye week. I think the second half of the road trip is going to be difficult. The long road stretch there, the beginning part of the season is going to be tough on us. I think we've got a tough road down the end, but I think at the end we can start to turn it around. You're right, Michael. It's just the off season, and it's all bullshit. What's funny is all of this shit we're talking about now, in the first week of September, we're not talking about any of this shit. None of it. Because it becomes irrelevant. But when we're in July, we're all just amped, man. And we're just so ready. We're just, it's here. Guys are out there on the field. But it feels, you want to be excited because it's the first day of training camp, but fuck, it's so far off still. It's so far off. I mean, it really is. So you want to start counting down the days to Christmas. But we ain't even within a month yet. Do I think we have any chance to win in Arrowhead? I do. But I honestly think two of our toughest games this year are going to be both games against the Chiefs. I have us picked in very, very close games with both of them. I think there's a good possibility we split games with them this year, but they're my biggest concern. I have them picked to win the division. I mean, I'm a realist. It is what it is. I have them picked to win the division. I have us picked in the playoffs as a wild card. I have us exiting their ass from the playoffs. I think the showdown, the big showdown for Kansas City this year is in the playoffs. I believe we have to vanquish them in Arrowhead in the winter in playoff time. That's how we will get rid of them. And I'm telling you, man, it ain't but one. I fucking mark my words, man. I believe it. Prime keeps telling me I'm fucking crazy too. I think one more fucking failure year, one more, you almost got there. They fucking run that fat walrus the fuck out of Kansas City, man. Andy Reid gets his walking papers. How many times is that guy just going to get close enough? I say Mahomes makes that fucker, sends him out of Kansas City, runs his fat ass out. Send that walrus packing with a fucking plate of fucking barbecue and send him on down the road. So, I believe it. I think I hope so. I love the way Carl Joseph played. I don't know why you'd want to get rid of Carl Joseph, man. That dude was lighting people up last year. I love the way he was playing. I thought he made a huge turn from 2017 to 2018. He was one of I thought was a bright spot on defense. But did they think the same thing? And they're like, hey, man, Carl Joseph's got great tape from last year. What's that mean? He's got value. So is that what they're thinking? Did they see the same thing that the rest of us did? Oh, that's a good question, Jamie. A concern is the amount of new players, period. I mean, when you're looking at a quarterback who literally, he's going to have a new number one tight end, all of his number one wide receivers, every wide receiver position is going to be new. He's going to have new linemen in front of him. He's handing off to a new running back. Everything Derek Carr has at his disposal is new. That's a concern. It's exciting. The possibilities, the potential, that's exciting. I mean, very, very exciting, because it's so you don't know. It's such an you don't know. He lost some weapons, Canyon. I agree. He lost some weapons, but did he really? What weapons did he lose? I ask you, weapons or weapon? I would argue Derek Carr only lost a weapon last season. What other weapon did he lose? Marshawn Lynch barely even played the year before. Marshawn Lynch, as much as I loved Beast Mode, I love the man that he is. He's a man of the city. He's a man of his community. He speaks his mind. I like a guy that'll fucking, yes, weapon. Okay, weapon. But he's really it. He's really it. And he was the only weapon that he had to add at his disposal. So yes, you removed one weapon, but you added a whole bunch more. Jack, that's a good question, but it comes down to how he gels with these new guys, man. I mean, it really does. It really does. It's such a new team. I mean, and I spoke on this last night a little bit. If it's July 23rd, man. It's the first day of training camp. If you're not optimistic about your team right now, if you're not optimistic as a Raider fan, as a member of Raider Nation, if you can't look at 2019 and be excited because you know there's going to be an upturn, that you should be excited. Your team, your general manager, your owner, your coach, they went out and they did everything that they should have done to make this team better. They've went out. You've seen Mark Davis gamble big money on he thought the coach was the man that was going to get the job done. No matter what you think of the fucking guy, I like a guy who'll put his fucking money where his mouth is. He saw what he wanted. He went and fucking got it. Needed a number one wide receiver. Fuck it. Let's go get one of the best in the goddamn game. He's unhappy. Let's get him. We need a running back. Fuck it. Let's draft the best goddamn running back from a team that's been contending for national championships every year. Let's take the best one in the draft. Everybody says, nah, we'd never go that high for running back. Bullshit. If you can't be optimistic about your team right now, then you're not a fucking fan. And I will challenge you on that right now. If you are not optimistic about the Raiders right now in July, first day of training camp, you, sir or madam, are not a fucking fan and need to get the fuck off the Raider train. Don't be perpetrating. Don't be wearing your shit around. No, because if you are talking negative about our team right now, the team that we all support, then you're not a fan. You are not a fan. This is the one time of the year where every team is 0-0. 0-0. Everybody's at the same starting block. Everybody. So if you can't be positive now, when are you going to be positive? When they win? No. That's not how it works. You don't just be a salty motherfucker until the day they win a Super Bowl, and then you get to stand there and say, yay! No. Riding through the hard times, crawling through the fucking mud, being there, standing in the rain watching them lose, standing in the snow watching them lose, being there in the cold, having to walk out while fucking 75,000 fucking fans are chanting Raiders suck. It's all of that shit. Living through all of that. Going on the road games. Fucking being the fucking moving black hole. It's all of that. All wrapped into one. If you can't get behind your team in July, it's the road of living through all of that shit that makes the winning worth it. If you haven't been to the in the cold, if you haven't watched your team in the fucking rain, if you haven't sat at home and fucking wasted every fucking Sunday for fucking ever, you've been there, you've cried, you've fucking thrown things, you've been mad, just ruined your day. Going through all of that is what makes the victory so fucking sweet. That's a fan. Why? It's short for fanatic. And if you cannot be positive about your team at this time of the year, then I question your allegiance. You need to take that fucking jersey off. And get off our train. In your face, sucker! There's no place for that at this time of the year. None. There's a time and a place for that. You want to question your team when they're sucking ass mid-season? By all means. There's a time and a place. But you don't question your team. You back them 100%. This is the time. This is the place. Get it done. We got all kinds of things coming, man. I can't wait for this season. Make sure you follow us on YouTube, Twitter. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Join our Facebook group, the Raider Reaction Empire. Come to the dark side. Jason, you're going to be pleased to know that it's already been booked. Last weekend in August, Prime will be in studio, and we're going to be doing it live. Prime will be there to video me paying up. So, there you go. Don't think we forgot. It's already been marked on our calendar. My moment of shame. Thank you for reminding me. Now, I got some things I want to wrap up the show with, but I want to make sure I've got enough time. Prime is back tomorrow night. He's been here for a couple weeks. Where have you been, Jason? Prime's been back for a few weeks now, and he will be with us tomorrow night for another Ghost to the Post. You missed last week. We ranked all of the NFL fan bases, 32 to number 1. Starting with the worst fan base in the league, the Chokers, ending with the best fan base in the league, of course, the Silver and Black. And you can find that whole list never. You can find that whole list at the Commish's Corner, www.RaiderReaction.com. Go check out the Raider Reaction shop. All kinds of stuff in there. But check out, it's my own little forum. If I feel like I gotta bang something out, something's bothering me. I think my last thing was about Tyreek Hill. We've got the fan base rankings up there. We got my way too damn early season predictions. I have 9-7 in the playoffs as a wild card. I think that's a fair prediction at this point of the game. But I like to end a special little segment.
What?
Yeah, you know the segment.
What?
Yeah, you know the one.
What?
That I like to call the WTF. The WTF. Now, the Derek Carr sensitivity story, we all heard about it today. It came out, anonymous such and such fucking said this, blah, 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 blah. There is nothing that fucking galls me, that chaps my ass worse than these fucking stories that are based on some motherfucker that won't even put his name to his words. If you're an anonymous source, or if you're an unnamed NFL coach, an unnamed NFL executive, you pussy gutless motherfucker, put your name to your words, or don't say anything. It's that simple. I say lots of things. I have lots of things to say. And I will come right on here and I will say them for the world to see. And I will record them and I will post them and I will share them about. If you can't put your name to it, Mr. Whoever thinks Derek Carr's sensitivity issues are a problem, you can't put your name to it, Mr. Anonymous fucking source, then it's not even credible. It's garbage. Again, it's like Sports Star. It's tabloid fucking journalism. You went out and got, hey, I have an unknown source that says they're moving Chris Warren III to place kicker. It's my unknown source. It's an NFL insider. I mean, come on. Seriously? That's fucking, come on. You can sit down and I can make that story up any fucking time I wanted. Just change the fucking names. Get the fuck out. That is total bullshit. If you're gonna say something in this world, put your motherfucking name to it. Good, bad, or indifferent. If it's gonna come out your lips, own that shit. Own it. Own it. Otherwise, we're just gonna look at you like, what the fuck? Pussy ass anonymous motherfucker. Fuck your sensitive ass. We don't care what you think. Fuck NFL executive motherfucker. Probably the fucking towel boy for the fucking Lions. Nobody gives a shit what you think. Go fuck yourself. Have we introduced you to our new voodoo doll, Patrick Mahomes? We've nailed him a couple times. Man. One in the Achilles and one through the heart. We're getting our preseason training camp action on too. A little Mahomes. And I just watched LaDainian Tomlinson go through and pick their schedule here a little while ago on Total Access. Fuck, come on, man. He had, obviously, them sweeping us. He doesn't even think we have a chance either game. God, I hate LaDainian Tomlinson. I always hated him. He got to be on NFL Network, too. It's like the guys I hated the most. And then they stick their ass in the booth or on the fucking shows. Like Deion Sanders, man. I fucking hate Deion Sanders. My God. I'll turn the channel. Him and Michael Irvin. When those two start talking to each other, it's just like fucking, my God, man. It's like hearing two fucking shells whistling because there ain't nothing but just fucking noise. God. And, you know, they're both Hall of Famers and shit. That's great, but they're fucking both dumb as a fucking post. I can't stand listening to either one of those. And LaDainian Thompson, you stick right in there with them. Oh, thank you for joining me. It's day one. It's training camp. Rookies are there. There's another one. Terrell Davis. There's another one, Chris. Rookies are there. Our quarterback's there. More Raiders tomorrow. It's here. The 2019 season. Tomorrow night. It goes to the post as we drop back deep in the pocket. We'll let it fly league wide as Prime will be here with me for another edition of Ghost to the Post. Prime will be here tomorrow. So, until then, thanks for joining me. As always, make sure you check out our website. Got the Commissioner's Corner on there right now. Like us up on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Join our group. Thank you all, each and every one of you, from the bottom of my heart. Without Raider Nation, Raider Reaction would be nothing. We do this for the nation, and we've got a lot of shit, great stuff planned for you this season. A lot of great stuff planned for you, but thanks for joining me. I will see you tomorrow night with Prime for Ghost to the Post. Same rated time, same rated channel. I'm out. Peace, love, Raider Nation!